Hello, my ninjas. This guide will show you how to use the gunpowder, the shrapnel, and the EGA enhanced shrapnel bombs. The gunpowder bomb reads, when thrown, this explosive device detonates on impact and damages all enemies in the vicinity. The shrapnel bomb reads, when thrown, the explosive device detonates on impact, sending ceramic shards flying and inflicting significant damage on all enemies in the vicinity. And the EGA enhanced or fire enhanced shrapnel bombs, when thrown, these devices explode on impact. The resulting blast and flying ceramic shards inflict devastating damage on all enemies in the vicinity. These all serve an equal purpose, so I will be coupling them in the same video, with the differences being the jutsu cost, with the gunpowder bomb being at a zero point 0.8, the shrapnel being at a 1.5, and the enhanced at a 4.0. The total amount preparable, regardless of the jutsu cost, being 10 for gunpowder, 5 for shrapnel, and 4 for enhanced shrapnel. And then, of course, the area of effect and damage that these all do, with the gunpowder having the smallest damage and the smallest area of effect, and the enhanced having the largest and greatest damage. The gunpowder and regular shrapnel bomb jutsus are on the faster end of the medium casting speed animations, while the EGA enhanced shrapnel bomb is on the slower end of the slow casting animations. All of these jutsu are thrown in an arc trajectory, and like all jutsu thrown in the arc trajectory, it has limited range when not locked on to an opponent. This range is drastically increased when the player is locked on to an opponent. While the gunpowder and shrapnel bombs can and will be thrown over smaller enemies if the player is too close, the pathing for the enhanced shrapnel bomb is a little bit more nuanced and is a little bit better at ensuring that they still hit the target. However, this is not without its own flaws. These can be cast when the player is out of key. However, due to the slower casting speed, the non direct path of travel, this is not a recommended way to use these. These are effectively the multi target versions of the fire shuriken for the scorched effect. Like the caltrops and caltrop ball, all bombs are designed to explode and hit multiple targets within a certain radius from the point of impact. The stronger the bomb, the larger the area of impact. Gunpowder bombs are one of the few items that naturally drop, and that the player can have an entire separate slot for, totaling up to a total of 21 at max. While these aren't to be completely dismissed, the primary purpose of these are to increase the proficiency of one's ninjutsu. However, these can be especially useful against sludge enemies who are especially vulnerable to fire based damage and explosions. Since these can drop naturally or be purchased from the Kodama Bazaar, I recommend simply using these as soon as possible as received, as these drop frequently. And if the player has max that they can carry in their inventory, the extras that are picked up will be sent to their storehouse and inaccessible for the duration of the mission. Sometimes the game drops more than one at a time, so I typically aim for about half in my inventory at any given time of the total that I can carry. If I have these jutsu actually prepared at the shrine, I will use all the non readied versions, the ones that drop naturally first before touching the readied versions, as naturally dropped gunpowder bombs will not fill up your ready jutsu slot. This is not to be understated. Make sure you are using these on any and everything that you can. The shrapnel bomb works exactly as the gunpowder bomb, except they are more damaging and have a larger area of effect. These can typically one-shot sludge enemies and are best used when initially engaging a group of enemies that are so closely packed together that aggroing or killing a single one of them will inevitably aggro the rest. Instead of attacking a singular enemy that will inevitably end up aggroing the other enemy, bombs can be useful for hitting both enemies. These also naturally drop, and I recommend the same strategy regarding inventory management. However, due to how powerful these are, it's better to be at least somewhat frugal with these to not be used on an individual gaki unless it's already in its giant form. These drop less frequently than the regular gunpowder bombs. The Iga Enhanced Shrapnel Bomb does not naturally drop and serves two purposes. Against human enemies, this violently pushes human enemies around, and when coupled with the Caltrop Ball, can violently push them all throughout the Caltrops and making them hit a lot of them, making them take significant key damage, or if they attempt to block, as you saw earlier, they can also take significant key damage. They are also inflict with the Scorch status, and hitting the Caltrops will inflict them with the reduced movement ailment. So if the human enemy doesn't block, they are forced into a whole bunch of the Caltrops and take a lot of key damage. And if they do block, then they absorb all of the damage into their key, and both will most likely render a key broken state regardless. Against yokai enemies, the Iga Enhanced Shrapnel Bomb, when paired with the Nikomata's Guardian Spirit, is very good at regenerating anima. As you can see, my anima bar almost completely regenerated.